My wife called me from the office bathroom. She was crying. Outside the door, 3 women were laughing. One of them said loudly,
Maybe she should just ask her husband to buy the company.
Another voice answered.
Please, a guy like that could never afford this place.
They kept laughing. What they didn't know, I already owned it, and I was 10 minutes away. My wife Emily has always believed in something simple. Work hard, be kind, and eventually people will respect you. Unfortunately, the women in her office believed in something very different. They believed in power, office politics, and public humiliation. Emily worked in the marketing department of a large corporate company, the same company I had quietly purchased a controlling stake in months earlier, but almost no one knew that yet, not even her coworkers. Emily wanted to earn her place without my name helping her, so I stayed quiet until the day she called me from the bathroom. When she first spoke, her voice sounded shaky. I just needed a minute, she whispered. Behind her, I could hear the echo of the restroom. Then I heard the voices outside, 3 women, laughing. One of them said,
She's probably hiding again.
Another voice replied,
Well, maybe if she actually knew how to do her job.
More laughter. Then someone knocked loudly on the restroom door.
Hey, Emily, are you crying again?
One woman called out mockingly. Another voice added,
Careful, she might ask her mystery husband to fix it.
They all laughed again. Emily whispered into the phone.
It's not a big deal.
But I knew my wife. If she was crying, it was a big deal.
Where are you?
I asked. She told me, the office building, the marketing floor, 10 minutes away. I'm coming, I said.
No, please don't make it worse.
She said quickly, but I was already walking out the door. When I arrived at the office, no one stopped me. Executives rarely visit marketing floors without warning, and most employees had never seen me in person. The office was open layout, rows of desks, glass meeting rooms, bright white lights, and a group of 3 women standing near the break area. They were the same voices I heard on the phone. One of them was leaning against the counter, another scrolling through her phone, the third stirring coffee slowly. They were talking loudly.
She thinks she's so perfect.
One woman said. Another rolled her eyes.
Honestly, I don't even know how she got hired.
The third laughed.
Probably diversity hiring.
A few employees nearby glanced nervously, but no one said anything. Then Emily stepped out of the restroom. Her eyes were red. The moment the women saw her, they smiled, not kindly. One of them started clapping slowly.
Well, look who finally came back.
Another leaned forward.
Did the mirror tell you the truth yet?
A few people nearby pretended to work, but the entire office was watching. Emily tried to walk past them. That's when the third woman spoke loudly.
Careful, everyone. She might call her rich husband to save her.
More laughter. Someone at a nearby desk whispered something. Another employee quietly pulled out their phone. The humiliation had become public. That's when I stepped forward. Emily? She stopped walking, then turned. Her eyes widened when she saw me.
What are you doing here?
She whispered. One of the women looked me up and down.
So this is the famous husband?
She said. Another smirked.
Well, that explains the attitude.
The third woman laughed.
Let me guess. You're here to complain to HR?
A few employees chuckled nervously. I looked at Emily.
Are these the people causing problems?
I asked quietly. She shook her head quickly.
It's nothing.
One of the women laughed again.
Oh, it's definitely something.
Then she looked directly at me.
Unless you're planning to cry about it, too.
That's when I sent a message on my phone. 30 seconds later, the elevator doors opened. 3 senior executives stepped onto the floor, including the regional director. The room instantly grew quiet. The executives walked straight toward me. The director stopped beside me.
Good afternoon, sir.
He said respectfully. Every employee in the room froze. One of the women whispered.
Why is he talking to him like that?
The director turned to the office, then spoke clearly.
I believe there's been a misunderstanding here.
He gestured toward me.
This is Daniel Carter.
Silence filled the room. Then he finished the sentence.
The chief executive officer of this company.
You could almost hear the air leave the room. The woman who had been laughing the loudest went pale.
I didn't realize.
That's the problem.
I said calmly.
You shouldn't need to.
The entire office stood frozen. Keyboards stopped. Phones lowered. No one laughed anymore. I looked at the three women.
Public humiliation. Workplace harassment. Spreading rumors about a colleague,
My voice stayed calm.
but apparently very entertaining for you.
One of them tried to speak.
It was just joking.
Stop right now. This pathetic excuse is over. HR will begin termination procedures immediately.
The silence became even heavier. Emily looked at me in disbelief.
You're the CEO?
She whispered. I smiled slightly.
Yeah.
Then I took her hand, and as we walked toward the elevator, the office that had laughed at her just minutes earlier stood completely silent. Because sometimes the people who think they control the room don't realize who actually owns it.